Hi, I'm Michelle Chalfant, psychotherapist, holistic life coach, and human just like you, learning to navigate life's challenges. With over 25 years experience, I teach people how to get healthy using the adult chair model. The adult chair model is where simple psychology meets grounded spirituality, and it teaches us how to become healthy adults. From anxiety and depression to codependency and relationship issues, you can use the adult chair for just about anything. Each week, I share practical tips, tools, and advice from myself and a wide range of experts on how to get unstuck, how to live authentically, and how to truly love yourself, all while sitting in your adult chair. Welcome to the Adult Chair Podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Adult Chair Podcast. I am Michelle Chalfant. Happy summer. It's my favorite time of the year. Actually, that's not true. I love the spring, the summer, and the fall. I do not enjoy the winter. I'm not a cold person. I grew up in Rochester, New York, in a snowbank for the first 25 years of my life and froze. I don't like the cold. So winter is not my friend. But spring, summer, fall, love those seasons. And I really love the summer because the hotter, the better for me. So I hope you guys are enjoying the summer. We've got a good show, another good show. We're talking today about staying in our adult chair with just everyday life coming at us. What do we do when we have, an argument with our partner, a fight with our children, or work situations, or you name it? Life comes at us. And sometimes life delivers us what feels like a big pile of poop, shall we say? It's like, how in the world are you supposed to stay in your adult chair when that happens? Well, I'm going to talk to you about it today. What I did was a few weeks ago, I actually went on social media and I asked all of you, what do you want to hear about? And a lot of you talked about the things wanted to hear more about what I'm going to share with you today, which is, what do you do when you have work situations? What do you do when you have kids that are acting out? Or just, again, life just isn't going your way. How in the world do you maintain your adult chair? And for those of you that are brand new to the show and are sitting here listening going, what is the adult chair? Let me just tell you. The adult chair is just a model that I created that teaches people how to live in the healthiest versions of themselves. That's it. It's really the how-to manual. I realize that if our parents don't live as the healthiest versions of themselves, then how in the world are they supposed to teach us how to do it? So the adult chair is just a manual for life. It teaches us how to be healthy. That's it. So I'm going to teach you how to do that today. And what do I want to tell you? Oh, if you want to be an adult chair certified coach, if you have been waiting for these doors to open, I'm just letting you know they're getting ready to open July 12th. Anyone that's on our wait list will be getting notified via email that the doors have opened for you. We are opening up only to our wait list first. So if you want to get on the wait list, if you're interested in learning more about the Adult Chair Coaching Certification Program, just go to theadultchair.com/certification, get your name and email address in there so you will get notified first. We are only taking a limited number of people. And if we still have spots available, we will open up to the public on August 1st. So again, if you want to join us and you want to be the first to be notified, and we have like hundreds and hundreds of you on this list, go to theadultchair.com/certification. I'm very excited about this year's program. I guess we're going to jump right into the show. Let us pause for one moment, though, and take a listen to our sponsor for today's show, which is Hair Food. I'll be right back. We all know the benefits of eating superfoods. Well, what if we had products for our hair that were loaded with superfoods? Well, guess what? I have found them. Yep, I've been using clean, simple, kitchen-crafted recipes from Hair Food and have seen amazing results. They have a wide range of products, but I started with their shampoos and conditioners, and they are all incredible. They have tea tree and lavender, manuka honey and apricot, coconut milk and chai spice, just to name a few. And yes, they all smell as good as they sound. I've been using these products for only a month, and my hair feels so much better. It feels healthier, and softer with far less dry and split ends. And why wouldn't it feel healthier? I'm feeding it good, healthy food. These products are also free of sulfates, parabens, and dyes, because let's face it, your hair does not want to eat that stuff. The best part is the price. The products are so affordable. Check them out for yourself at Bed Bath & Beyond, Target, Walmart, or Amazon. Your hair will thank you. Okay, so today we're talking about how do we stay anchored, glued into our adult chairs, no matter what in the world's going on outside of us. So let's talk about just a very general thing that happens. It's called life. And life happens. How do we stay anchored in that adult chair? A few things. These are qualities of the adult chair. Number one, we live our life with presence. Now, I know you're thinking, that's so airy-fairy. Maybe you're not thinking that, but I'm sure some of you are. That's so airy-fairy. What does that mean? Well, let me tell you. When we live a life of presence, it means I'm living in the moment. I'm not living in the past, and I'm not living in the future. Okay? I'm living with presence. When I live with presence, I'm not going into the past and pulling up ammunition for what's going on in my present moment. And I'm also not launching into the future trying to figure out what's coming. I'm just showing up every day and wondering with curiosity. That's another word we use in the adult chair. We live life with curiosity. What's going to show up today for us? And when I'm present, I am able to stay connected to my emotions and to my thoughts. Now, it doesn't mean, though, that I'm buying into my thoughts. It means I'm present with them and I'm able to, here's another adult chair word, witness my thoughts. You guys, we've got 70 to 90,000 thoughts a day. We don't need to follow all of them. We want to learn how to witness not just our thoughts, but even ourselves when we go through life. And I'm going to give you a great example for that. So I'm doing a lot of construction on my house downstairs in the kitchen and laundry room and dining room. All of that's being remodeled, and it has been underway for a little bit now, for a while. My first contractor that came started working, and I did not like the quality of the work, nor did my husband, nor did anyone that was coming over. And they said, "This does not look good." I said, "Yes, I know." So I ended up letting this person go. And the day he was leaving, he had a trailer and his truck. And when he took the emergency brake off of the truck and trailer, the whole thing slid into the back of my car and dented my car. So he came in to get me and said, this is his last day. I had said to him, "I think we're just kind of done here. Let's just go our separate ways. Things are not working out." And I have to say, I did that with presence. I wasn't angry. I was just looking at the quality of work. It was not good. Lots of mistakes. And I just said, okay, I'm just going to let this go. I'm going to let him go. I'll get someone in here to correct it. I live with facts. I didn't go into drama. And the old me, I have to say, I was a drama queen. And I also pulled anger out of my back pocket, and I could use anger. Or anger would come up through me very quickly in my younger years. So I was a dramatic, angry drama queen. How's that? I don't do that anymore. I don't live like that anymore because I use the adult chair model to live my life. And I have a very different life now than I did in the past. So anyway, so he came in to get me, walked outside, and I saw that my car is now completely dented. And immediately what rifled through my mind was, because this is a relatively new car for me, immediately I thought, oh my God, now whenever I sell this car, it's going to come up, the Carfax is going to say there's an accident. I'm going to lose my car for at least a few weeks because it's going to have to go to a shop to get repaired. This is a big deal, what just happened here. So that was number one. Number two, thoughts. And then I could feel in my body this anger start to rise up. It was the most incredible experience I've had. And I thought to myself, I'm not going to choose anger right now. And what I realized in that moment was my emotions are not in control of me. They just run through me. So was I frustrated with what had happened? Yes, because he'd done this crappy job with the construction. It was a complete waste of money that I spent on this guy. It was like a few $1,000s. And that's a lot of money. I was ticked off, but not angry, not furious, frustrated, ticked off. But I didn't let it overtake me. And I sat, and this is all happening when after he backed into my car, in this moment of, am I going to choose anger or not? And it was the coolest experience. I was witnessing all this. I was living with pure consciousness in this present moment awareness state. And I had the thought, I'm not going to choose anger because there's no point in it. What's the point? So I looked at him and I said, this is really frustrating. Can you just please give me your driver's license and your insurance card? And I took a picture of it. And then he said, I'm so sorry. I said, I know you are. This was not intentional. I appreciate you saying that. And he says, okay. And I said, I think you should just leave now. And he left. And I sat there when he left. I thought, holy moly. It was a really beautiful reflection of how far I've come with my own work and with living in the adult chair. And I say that to you guys because the world mirrors where we are with our evolution, with our spiritual growth, with our emotional growth, and with how well we're living in the healthiest aspect and version of ourselves, which is the adult chair. And in that moment, I was so grateful for that experience because I realized how much I had changed over all these years. And I thought, oh, this is cool. Look what life brought me to show me who I am. So it's a very different perspective. The old me would have gotten lost in emotion. I would have been angry. I might have told him off. I was good at doing that in my younger years. But you know what? That's not who I am anymore. I really work hard at keeping myself in balance. I work hard at really taking good care of my nervous system. And I wanted to maintain balance and peace for myself. And me getting angry and me activating my nervous system was unnecessary because the damage was already done. Why get angry? It was done. I was really frustrated. And then I let it go. It was such a cool experience. So I invite you guys to practice that, whatever that looks like for you, because this kind of stuff happens to us all the time. And then here's part 2 to that. My sister had called me shortly thereafter, and I found myself having a choice in that moment. We choose from the adult chair. And I thought, well, am I going to go into the drama and create drama? Because here's the thing. We create drama. We create it. Things happen to us, and how we see it and perceive it and tell the story can really stir up some serious drama. And I said to her, well, so-and-so backed into my car. She was like, oh my God, that's crazy. And went down there just a little bit. And I said, you know what? It's okay. And my sister is not a drama queen by any means, you guys, but she was like, oh my gosh. And I said, you know what? It's okay. And I went into fact and truth. I said, it's okay. Today was his last day. He's done. I have to get my car fixed, and I'm just going to move on because I'm keeping my nervous system in check. And she goes, gotcha. And she met me where I was. And I told my husband, same thing. And they're like, wow, I can't believe that happened. I'm like, I'm moving on. It's okay. The realizations from that experience were incredible. And I realized drama is a choice. Pulling out anger is even a choice. And it affects only me, because when that guy left out of my driveway, for me to sit in anger and go on and call my mom and my friends and my family and tell them how terrible it was that he backed into my car, ultimately hurts me because it's activating my adrenals. It's activating my nervous system. It keeps me in an angry state, which if like attracts like, I don't want more of that in my life. So I don't even want that anywhere in my energy field. So all of these things I chose in a matter of, again, it was like minutes. And then as I went on and I had to get my car fixed, of course, drop it off. People are like, where's your car? Well, this is what happened. Oh my God, that's terrible. I'm like, yep, I just moved on. Not really going there. It is what it is. I'm letting it go. And I did. and it was over. And it was the weirdest, and I say this, living in the adult chair, most boring experience. Because man, I like telling a good story. I like drama. I mean, I can say some things and I could have gotten other people riled up too. I'm like, not doing that. No, thank you. Living in our adult chair sometimes can be kind of boring because there isn't drama. It's not chaotic. Now, I have another contractor. He's equally frustrating. And I want to be really clear. The emotion of anger is a very healthy emotion. However, sometimes we use it when it's unnecessary. And in other words, when I had that experience with my first contractor, it was a choice that I could have had in that moment. Now, my second contractor is giving me all kinds of opportunities to stay in my adult chair again. And it's hard sometimes because he's ghosting me. He's not showing up on time, his workers. And now we're in the middle of a big kitchen project. I actually did get angry with him the other day, and that felt like appropriate anger because I had paid him a lot of money and he's not doing his job. So I did raise my voice. I got elevated with him. I did it though from a healthy way, and then I had to let it go. I found myself wanting to tell my mother about it, my sister about it, my cousin about it. I was like, let me tell you what he's doing now. And people are always asking me, how's the remodel going? And I'm finding myself wanting to go down that path. I did it a few times and then I tuned back into myself. Hear me. This is important. I tuned back into myself and I realized I was living with stress. I felt anxiety. I felt my heart rate was racing. I started waking up in the middle of the night, and I've worked really hard to get good night's sleep and end my insomnia. And let me tell you, I was doing it to myself because I was telling people again about what's not happening with my remodel. So I'm handling it in a much different way now because I started having these quote unquote symptoms that so many of us live with. People say all the time, I'm just stressed. Well, how do you not be stressed? We have to make choices and changes in our lives to get ourselves out of stress because life is going to show up and you're going to have people that are going to show up that could create stress. So even with this current contractor, I am really working hard not to tell a million people about what's going on with me. And I'm handling him in my own way. I'm handling it. And I brought my husband in. I'm like, you're going to help me handle this because I don't like how things are going down. And he agreed. So I was angry, got my point across to him, and now we're moving on. So when we're in our adult chairs, it's living with presence. It's feeling what's going on. It's letting these emotions come through in a healthy way. Remember, rage comes through that adolescent chair, and it's explosive. I used to do that, especially in my teenage years and 20s. I don't do that anymore at all. But anger is healthy. I really want to make sure you're hearing anger is healthy. But I'm witnessing myself now. That's a very key aspect to the adult chair. I'm witnessing myself more than I ever have before in my whole life. And it gets better and better with every day. Every day I practice this. And I think and feel before I respond. We react from the adolescent chair, which is the ego, and we respond from the adult chair, which is the higher self. It's presence, it's consciousness. That's where I choose to live. And we have to strive to live there every single day. I want to talk to you next about triggers. I see people, and I have people respond to me, whether it be on social media or in emails. They may not agree. I read comments in the adult chair closed group and on all my social media sometimes. And I'm like, and people will say things like, I'm in my adult in all caps. These are the facts. And you can tell they're screaming through their words. And it makes me chuckle because I'm like, that's not your adult. Not to say that our adult does not, man, I was stern with my contractor. It's not that I'm airy-fairy sitting around meditating in the Zen position every day, in the lotus position. No. In our adult, we can set one hell of a boundary, and we do it sometimes we use that anger to help set our boundaries, but I'm not explosively using anger. And when I'm in my adult, when I'm reading these comments and people saying, I'm in my adult, it's so obvious to me that they're triggered and attempting to speak up, or they are speaking up, but they're doing it from their adolescent chair. Because remember, we can wear the mask of the adult chair from the adolescent chair. Okay. So from our adolescent chair, we are acting as if we're an adult, and we are not. The big takeaway here, you guys, is that when you're triggered, you want to look at what's going on inside around the trigger. If you find yourself wanting to act out or react immediately when you feel triggered, you're in your adolescent chair. It means you're in the seat of the ego. You're in the seat of the survivor. You're going to react. You want to hurt someone else. You're hurting, by the way, first. You're hurting first, so you want to hurt someone else. Something inside of you has been triggered. It's an unconscious emotion that's trying to rise up, or a belief that's trying to rise up. And instead of feeling that, you're projecting out your pain or anger on someone else. So when we are in our adult, when we're triggered, we sit with it. We don't react to the trigger. We take time for ourselves and get to know what the heck's going on inside of ourselves. Okay, next thing. A lot of questions around when kids talk back. What do we do? What do we do when our kids aren't listening to us? And a lot of it was around teenagers. I had a lot of questions around teenagers. What do I do when my kid doesn't do this and that, etc.? I want to give you this perspective. There are so many, and I can do a mini podcast just on teenagers alone, on parenting teenagers. That's a whole topic in and of itself. But for these purposes, I just want to remind you of this. Number one, kids need boundaries. Number two, when you threaten to, let's say, take your kids' car away, video games away, phone away, whatever it might be, you have to follow through. We do that from our adult. And the next thing is, I hear this from a lot of parents. Well, I feel really guilty if they lose their phone. What? You guys, we have to feel our emotions that are rising up when we're parenting our kids. Feel and sit in and let them come through the emotions. Well, my kid doesn't really socialize, and the only way he socializes is on video games, so I don't really want to take that away. But man, he's ticking me off, and the way he talks back to me, and he doesn't do any chores. Okay. No. They need boundaries. They need boundaries. And we as parents have to get much better at sitting in the uncomfortableness when we set a boundary, not just with our kids really, but with anyone, but specifically our kids. They push back. They act out. They're pissed off because we have taken away their phone, their video game, their car, their privileges. They're going out for the weekend with their friends. We have to get comfortable with uncomfortable emotions when we have teenagers, because man, they come up. It's a really big takeaway for parents with teenagers. We have to let go. Another thing is of letting go of how we thought our kids would act, and they should act, etc. Because you know what? They're going to act as they're going to act, but they need boundaries. I didn't say to control them, and I didn't say teenagers need a gazillion boundaries, but it's about respect and following house rules when they're teenagers. So if they're not being respectful and they're not following house rules, a boundary needs to be set. And then a consequence, like taking the phone away, taking the car away. So you don't talk to me like that. I've asked you not to. You did it again. So for my kids, I had two boys. They were video game kids. I would take the cords away to the video games, or I'd take the controllers away so they couldn't play. And man, they would get ticked off. And I had to sit with that. I had to sit with that and go, oh, I don't want to disappoint. Well, it's been a week. Maybe I'm being too harsh. No. What they did needs a consequence. It helps them to become healthy adults. Boundaries and consequences are a fact of life. If you rob a bank, you're going to go to jail. You don't do that kind of thing. It's called a consequence. I'm not saying that your kid's going to do that by any means, but this is how the world works. If you do something, you get a consequence. If you show up late to work every single day, you're going to get fired. It's a consequence. Your boss is setting a boundary with you. So It's really important that we do this well with our teenagers because we are releasing these teenagers as adults into the world. And the final way that we do that is to really set really solid boundaries with them and consequences. Not over boundarying, not over controlling, boundaries that are respectful and with the consequences. Okay, last thing, work. A lot of people said, what do I do with my work issues? My boss is a jerk. I have coworkers that don't invite me out to lunch, all of these kinds of things at work. Same thing. It's about staying present, staying connected to yourself, and getting clear on what's your stuff and what someone else's. And when you have triggers, the workplace is a wonderful way and place to get to know yourself better because we can get triggered at work. I love triggers because they are a way that we get to know our unconscious programming, our unconscious beliefs, and our unconscious thoughts. We all have unconscious beliefs, thoughts, and ideas. We all do. I don't care who you are. We all have them. And a lot of them are beliefs and thoughts and ideas like, I'm not good enough. I'm a fraud. I hate myself. I don't matter. I'm unlovable. All of these things. And when we're triggered, that's exactly what's rising up. So you really want to get to know these aspects of yourself that then you can integrate into your whole self. So work is a wonderful atmosphere to do that. Another thing when you're working and the way we stay in our adult chairs is to stay focused on your own goals with work. Don't get caught up in work drama. Stay connected to yourself. Okay. Stay connected to yourselves. A lot of people have asked me like, hey, what do I do when, people at work are gossiping and I don't want to be involved in that. And the energy feels really bad at work and I don't want to be part of that. You walk away. You say, I'm sorry, I got to go use the restroom. I'll see you guys later. If things go south and it feels bad, walk away. You don't have to change the subject. You don't have to sit there and suffer. Just walk away. Don't forget at work, we can set boundaries with people too. We can speak up for ourselves. It's a wonderful playing ground for speaking up for self. So practice that. And do let go of the things that are really just not important. Don't obsess on things that are not important. Don't cling to things that aren't healthy for you. Stay, just like in life, even at work, staying focused on the goal is so, so important. So important. So these are some ideas for staying connected to your adult and reminding you really what the adult chair is all about. It is living with presence, with fact and truth, empowered, witnessing thoughts, and connecting to your emotions, letting them come through you, and not letting your emotions control you, letting them run through you, right? And remembering you always have a choice. Always you have a choice. So there you have it. Happy summer, everybody. I love you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being a listener of the show. Please share the show. I have so many people that say to me, this is like getting free therapy or that it's a compliment to their therapy. So I'm so happy to hear that. It's free and I love helping people to heal and transform. So thank you and continue to share and follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I'd love to connect with you there. Have a wonderful rest of your day and your week. And don't forget, the certification program is about to be announced. July 12th, theadultchair.com/certification. If you're interested in being an adult chair coach, I would love for you to join us. We get asked all the time about people that are certified in the adult chair, and this is how we do it. I need that song. This is how we do it. Yeah, there we go. There's my singing. No laughing at me. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Sitting in your adult chair. And I will see you seated next week right here in my adult chair.